like I said, inflation edging up in October. Did you expect this outcome?
Of course, this was expected, and the reasons are very simple. There's been an SI or statutory instrument that has been issued in Zambia, and that statutory instrument is talking about minimum wages. So it has stipulated a certain minimum wage that should be paid to the employees. And you've seen some kind of labor unrest in Zambia in the recent past, and where the employees have actually been down in tools, stating that they needed more increased salaries and wages by virtue of that statutory instrument. And we've also seen a reaction from the business firms or the employers themselves who have actually said, yes, we shall increase the minimum wage, but it simply means that the products that we are producing shall also become expensive. So if they are an agricultural firm or they are a food processing company, the products that they are selling have become more expensive, and their argument is their cost of production has gone high by virtue of this minimum wage. And that's why you've seen that actually what has increased are the food prices. So I would say, yes, this was expected, and in my view, actually, the economy has performed very well because the poultry 0.2% increase is okay, looking at the magnitude of what has been happening by virtue of this statutory instrument stipulating the minimum wages, yes.
So from what you're saying, you're seeing this, this trend continuing in perhaps in November and December?
Exactly. I see it continuing in November and December until we kind of reach a certain stability position, because as we speak now, as I speak now, it is still an ongoing issue in Zambia, and everyone, in fact others are even taking it as an artificial advantage, other business firms and employers. Everyone now is using this as an excuse to say because of this minimum wage, our costs of production have gone up, and hence the prices and cost of the products that we are producing should automatically go up. Even those who have been not affected by this minimum wage, for example, even those who were within the limits created by the new minimum wage, such that the minimum wage does not have an effect on them, but by virtue of it, they are taking advantage of that. So until we reach a certain point where this would be stabilized and where it would become an expired theory or principle, we still expect to see the inflation rate actually rising. But I think I don't expect it before December to reach the double digit. I expect it to still be in the single digit region.
Let's talk about the currency now. We have seen the Zambian kwacha depreciating over the past few weeks. We have seen some depreciation coming through in this week's trading session. Talk us through some of the major reasons as to why we're seeing such a depreciation on the currency.
Thank you very much. You remember again sometime about 2 months ago, if I'm not mistaken, 2 or 3 months ago, the new government, the Patriotic Front here in Zambia, released another statutory instrument that mandated everyone trading in Zambia to use the Zambian kwacha. And because of that, we saw a good jump in the value of the kwacha. I think it was about 10 percentage points. And it was very simple. It was because there was more demand for the kwacha than the US dollar. But we have seen the opposite now happening. And the greatest reason why this is happening, I should presume, is because of our trade surplus. If you look at our trade surplus in the month of August, for example, we had a trade surplus of 568.5 billion kwacha. In September, this has fallen to 451.9 billion kwacha, which is about 86 million. And it is this trend in terms of trade surplus falling that also has an impact on the kwacha, because it means that we are gradually importing more than we're exporting, and there is more demand on the US dollar, which is the major trading currency. That said, also there is an issue of which is also much of subjective mind by the investors, by the business firms in Zambia. Most people, it has come to our attention that they are keeping their dollars. I don't know, maybe for reasons of uncertainty. So they're keeping their dollars, and there's less supply of these dollars on the market. So you realize again that the higher the demand for the dollars, the more the kwacha depreciates. So I would actually point to two issues: trade itself gradually the surplus is falling, and then probably uncertainties in the minds of the business firms and enterprises, where they are holding on to the dollars and hence increasing the demand for the dollars on the market.
Well, Willard, we know that the country celebrated its 48th year of independence yesterday. In your view, do you think that Zambia has achieved these satisfactory levels of economic growth within these 48 years?
Absolutely. My answer to that question is no. If you look at Zambia's economic performance at the time of independence in 1964, we were among the rich nations in the world in terms of GDP per capita. Malaysia, North Korea, Singapore were actually lower than us in terms of economic performance in 1964. 48 years down the line is totally disastrous, and I think it shouldn't be anything to worth even celebrating about in terms of economic performance. I think we've done very badly. But again, all hope is not lost. We've seen quite good economic performance during the last decade, relatively, not saying it's much better than what it was at the time of independence. It's still, we still have a long way to go to fix this problem. But in the last decade, again, we've seen relatively good indications towards economic prosperity.